My gross sales on eBay over the last 24 hours for just 5 items. Let me show you. I have 4 of them right now. Let me show you the 4 because one just sold right now. The first one was this lot of 8 DVDs from this person, Daniel G. Amen, which have to do with health, high performance brains, things like that. Use your brain to change your age, etc. So that was $18 plus shipping. This came from a Gaylord. And this one, which are 19 VHS tapes of Teletubby programming recorded straight off the TV way back 20 plus years ago. This is the second time I've sold a lot of Teletubby pre-recorded VHS tapes. And this time this one sold for $400. $400. Pretty crazy. But this has been sitting for a while, and I had it listed for $700, took an offer of $400, was happy to take it, and now it's out of my hands and someone can enjoy it. Here is the listing. It doesn't actually show the 400, but it sold for 400. Here it is. Here it is, Teletubby, $400. And I sold it for $400. After all eBay fees and shipping, it ended up being $340.99 in profit. There was no, it was not a promoted listing, so I did not pay any percentage for promoted listing. So that is what it would cost based on what it, I charged shipping. So based on deducting the shipping, all that stuff. Anyway, $300 and essentially $41. And then I sold this for $350. It is a hand-drawn and signed, drawing by C.C. Beck, who was a cartoonist for Captain America. Captain America? Yes. Sorry, Captain Marvel. So this is actually, it's hard to see here, but it is, that's his signature and that's his hand drawing on this. Spears, axes, daggers, swords, zap pistols, ray guns, make your own lethal, blah, blah. I don't want to open it up, but this this is something I've had for sale for a while, very specific. It's going to someone who's very excited about it. It's going to be a present for someone in their family, and they're going to be thrilled by it, so it's really cool. This is a guy that was born in 1910 and died in 1989. I don't know. Oh, 72. Check that out. So this is actually from 1972. This came from the bookstore that I have. The previous owner had this, and I don't know where he got it, but this was drawn and signed in 1972, so before I was born. Really cool piece here. Sold for $350, and after all fees, I made $290, and it's going to make someone super happy. So it's a win-win. And finally, I sold this 7 book set of Shakespeare works from the 1800s for $125. Yeah, there's 8 volumes. Really, really cool. Beautiful gold spine here with Shakespeare's face. I don't want to take them out because they're packed, but really cool drawings inside. This was with a trade that I did last year, and it finally sold for $125. I made $99 and change after all fees. I had a 2% promotion on it, promoted listing on it, so $100 in my pocket through a trade. It did take a while. It's definitely worth it though, doing these long tail, higher profit lots and items. And also today is, or all these sales, sorry, yesterday was, all these sales happened on the leap day on February 29th of 2024. Today's March 1st, but yeah, they all happened yesterday. So really an awesome leap day sale bonanza for me. The leap day had nothing to do with it, but it's a cool anecdote. It's something to remember. Yeah, so I gotta pack all these up, but I wanted to share it with you, and I think I'll talk a little bit more about it. Truth is, the first thought that jumped into my head when I made those 3 big sales in one day on the leap day year, February 29th, is that, oh, now I have to find some more high profit, high value items to replace those because I've sold them and now they're not in my inventory anymore. So I've depleted my inventory of some of the higher profit items. instead of just thinking, oh, that's awesome, I made those big sales. Now, of course, when it initially happened, those sales initially happened, I thought, oh, wow, this is awesome. And one day I can make, what I make in multiple days. So that is a thought I have, but I also jump to the next thought, which I just mentioned, and that's part of being. I would assume it's part of trying to sell any product, but I know as a reseller, it's part of it. When you find part of the fun of being a reseller is finding something that is potentially worth some good money and that you are able to make a nice profit on. You find it for $1, you can sell it for $50. You find it for $10, you can sell it for $100, that kind of thing. And that's the thrill. That's sort of the adrenaline rush that I guess if it's a dopamine hit that you get when you find an item like that in the thrift store, when I'm going through a pallet, when I get a donation, whatever it is, when you find that particular item that you're really confident you can get some good money for, that's that initial hit, that initial high. And then you list it and you have hopes of selling it. And then when it sells, you get that hit again that it's sold. And then for me, I think of, well, now I gotta go find another one and another one and another one. And that's the constant sort of never ending battle of being a reseller. So I think that for me, I need to come to a place where I settle on just being happy with the sale and say, hey, I'm always going to find other great items to sell, other high profit items to sell. And I always do. And try to just leave that extra thought out of it. But it inevitably comes in. And I think the more that you sell in general, on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, the more numb you become to the bigger sales. And you say, well, the bigger sales are nice. I would love to have, if you're doing 5 sales a day, averaging $20 profit per sale, let's just say as an example. Of course, you'd love to have $100 profit sales and you'd make $500. But realistically, it's hard to find that many items that you can sell multiple times in one day, different types of items as a reseller. So there's going to be $20 sales, there's going to be $300 sales, and then there's going to be a bunch of 18, 25, 30, etc. And it averages out to a nice profit. But that's kind of where you get to when you've been doing it for a few years. I've been doing it for 10 years, and that's kind of the process. In the beginning, it can be the first 6 months, the first year, it could even last a couple of years. You're still kind of excited about finding stuff. But then after a while, you've gone through hundreds and thousands of items that you've found, listed, sold, etc., made the money, bought more items, done it over and over and over again, that it loses its luster to a certain degree, because you always have to find more, which is why it's so important to have constant way to source your items. But those are just my thoughts after a really nice day of sales. 3 sales for around like $850 or so. So that was nice. Now I'm going to go through these items you see here on the table. It was a small little buy, but there are some nice CDs in here. Some are going to go in the store, like the Bob Marley CD set, or vaults, I guess it's called. And then there's some other ones here that are nice individual CDs that I can either put in my store or on Amazon. Actually, they had some good prices on Amazon for those. So it continues on. Like, if you're gonna make this a full-time business, whether you're self-employed or you have people working for you, you gotta keep finding new items, keep listing them, keep selling them, rinse and repeat, which is why hopefully you enjoy it. You enjoy the hunt, you enjoy part of it. or a lot of it, because otherwise it's going to be it's going to be after a while you're going to get burnt out on it. But having these big sales is really good. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.